I do want to, as talking about it being local, introduce you to my dad, okay? we use this at his 90th birthday, okay? He lived to be 93, and I said he was a man's man at 92. He had a girlfriend, okay? And that's another story. But anyway, my mother passed away, and he was about 12 years by himself. And then as he began to fade, I moved back home and was there for a little bit. He did not practice what we would think of as a lot of the same healthy principles we talk about today. However, the hard work, being on the farm, and being here, okay? The real interesting thing that you talk about longevity, his father amazingly lived to be 92 as well, okay? You go back another generation, they had a hard time. They didn't live quite as long. But I'll tell you, I can go back. Amazingly, my great-great-grandfather, born just outside of Mount Ida when they were timber 201 years ago. So you think about how longevity really is local. You want to eat local. We go to church here. We got our friends. So it really zeroes into being local. Now, the interesting thing, again, I couldn't help but put this lady's picture up. 106 years old, a tattoo artist, and she is the oldest woman to ever grace the cover of Vogue magazine, okay? It's about having a great life. Now, there's a couple of times in my history, some of this global health care has made a difference in what we were doing. My dad started in the nursing home business a long, long time ago in 1968. So when I tell you about longevity and old people, and this is a little telling, but I have literally been around them for over 50 years, okay? Kids would get in trouble going home from school. My brother and I would get dropped off at the nursing home. So every afternoon we're running around the nursing home, getting in trouble and stuff like that. And so I thought many times, even as a kid, you know, the folks were interesting in how they dealt with life and how life had sort of treated them. But there's two stories to stand out. I almost brought one because you talk about aging gracefully, which is only a part of what we want to talk about today. But it was interesting that Mrs. Carey was a great baseball fan, and Brooks Robinson, which is from Arkansas, came down there and gave her a baseball. My dad still kept the baseball. So you knew people who were vibrant in life, and even, I can only imagine that they were vibrant earlier in life, not just as they aged. The second story real quick was, I'm sorry I can't remember her name, but she was 101, and she had outlived all three of her children that they had passed on in their 70s, okay? And she was a gracious lady and had a stroke, couldn't talk very well, and apparently would still like to put on her own makeup because you could see where it would be a little crooked at the time, but very gracious. I mean, just a lovely person. And so to that point, what I really hope that you'll come away with today and through the talking and different presentations, and again, we can't wait to hear Logan share. I have said to nearly everybody, I said, I don't think you'll meet anybody who knows more about food and packaging and all of that, because at their B&B market, they private label everything. So it's not somebody else's jam or butter. I mean, so feel free to really learn and pick his brain, as they say. But I want to share also another story about a tremendous success of a diabetes friend of ours who beat it. And he said to me, he said, you know, really, when you change your thinking as food is utility, it's not something that you got to have pleasure and overeat and do. If you begin to look at how you look at it, it really makes a difference. And so for our health and longevity, it all comes down to a space about that big, which is from your mouth to your brain. we got to watch what we're putting in our mouth, and that is everything. So again, from the cover, I was sharing, there's a couple of several things, 3 goals. We want to have a positive impact on your life today, and it's not about something that you got to work on next week, next month. And also, the most important thing I believe that I have learned so much about, recently is, and as we stated here, accurate and truthful information about foods. And I'm not going to wave around too much, but I do get the Sunday version of a national paper, and there was a big ad that they were doing about certain things, and it appears that they're being helpful in sort of the health arena, although I don't believe that's quite true. So understanding we're lied to, it's not what we think it is, get rid of the process. I mean, we can go on and on, but the bottom line is that please understand there is a real, if you want to say, avenue, a narrow way. It's not the broad way, and that's where the real information is, where you need to get that. So let me just take a minute, and I want to give you an example. Logan sent me a great graphic as well. I couldn't get it reproduced, but if you look at the front page, and it's not hard to guess that the United States spends more per capita. It is the most expensive healthcare system in the world. Okay, but then on the left, on the right, you can see way down there, life expectancy, we are, 20-something, okay? And we spend a good 30%, 35% more. But the most interesting thing to me, and I hadn't looked at this in a while, but that middle little graph that I made, okay, again, trillion. Okay, so 1.4 trillion they spent in 2000. Now it's already up to, in 2020, it's 4.5 trillion. And the 10-year projection is that by 2032, it goes to like 7.7 trillion. Okay, and that's unbelievable. I don't think I was talking to Lloyd, I said, where are we going to get the money? I guess they'll print it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. If we were getting the value for it, that would be one thing. Now, there's another author that shared the information, about medicine, what we're looking for, and on the second page, I thought, again, thank you, AI, but it came out, how can we reduce the U.S. healthcare costs? Developing a health system that emphasizes prevention rather than disease. Well, that ain't gonna happen, okay? The United States healthcare industry as an industry ranks so high above all the other industries in the world. It's just unbelievable. So the reason I say that today, and again, our desire to be upbeat and positive, but longevity and healthful living is really important for our country beyond just what it would do for you.